Yeah. Victory. I stand with Israel. Hashtag I stand with Israel. Hashtag make Israel bigger. Make Israel bigger. I stand with Israel. Hashtag I stand with Israel. You can't expect Hamas who took over Gaza, Palestine control since 2007 could just waltz and kill thousands, torture, rape women and Jewish children on camera, cut their heads off and dancing. Expect Israel, a country of Jewish people, to not go after every single one of them. And did I mention raped and tortured women and children and kidnapped and murdered 240 hostages, possibly one of our friends or family members. And to add it all up, 60% plus of Palestine supported the Hamas massacre on the Israelis on October 7th for the Palestinian concert of peace. All the Israelis who had been surrounded by Muslim countries that outnumbered them 25% to 0.2% of the world's population, and most of them support the annihilation of Jews, though it's not genocide. In fact, we're outnumbered, it's backwards. We're not going to other countries and kidnapping all the Muslims, separating their families, mutilating them, calling it scientific research, sticking them in gas chambers and lining them up and shooting them off. We're not targeting babies, we're targeting Hamas, that are a bunch of savages hiding behind those said babies, bunch of rapists. Yeah, I fucking hate war. I can only pray that this isn't World War III or the beginning of it, and they all don't attack Israel, because if the United States and the UN does not back them, the rest of us Jews will be hunted down like dogs. And any of you trying to convince us Jews that support Israel, a Jewish safe haven, that we are now the neo-Nazis, you are the real Nazis, you delusional motherfuckers. I don't need to say much, but tell me if I got my facts straight. A crash course of history, a Palestinian state before Israel. There was a British mandate, not a Palestinian state. Before the British mandate, there was the Ottoman Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Ottoman Empire, there was the Islamic state of the Mamluks of Egypt, not a Palestinian state. Before the Islamic state of the Mamluks of Egypt, there were the Ugaybid Arab Kurdish Kardashian Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Ugaybid Empire, there was the Frankish and Christian Kingdom of Jerusalem, not a Palestinian state. Before the Kingdom of Jerusalem, there was the Umayyad and the Fatimid Empires, not a Palestinian state. Before the Umayyad and the Fatimid Empires, there was the Byzantine Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Byzantine Empire, there were the Sassanid Sardines, not a Palestinian state. Before the Sassanid Empire, there was the Byzantine Empire, again, not a Palestinian state. Before the Byzantine Empire, there was the Roman Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Roman Empire, there was the Hasmonean state, not a Palestinian state. Before the Hasmonean state, there was the Seleucid, not a Palestinian state. Before the Seleucid, or however you pronounce empire, there was the Empire of Alexander the Great, not a Palestinian state. Before the Empire of Alexander the Great, there was the Persian Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Persian Empire, there was the Babylonian Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Babylonian Empire, there were the kingdoms of Israel and Judah, not a Palestinian state. Before the kingdoms of Israel and Judah, there was the kingdom of Israel, not a Palestinian state. Before the kingdom of Israel, there was the theocracy of the 12 tribes of Israel, not a Palestinian state. Before the theocracy of the 12 tribes of Israel, there was an agglomeration of independent Canaanite city kingdoms, not a Palestinian state. Actually, in this piece of land, there has been almost everything except a Palestinian state. I stand with Israel. Victory.